This is SoulCharge, the podcast for women leaders to take the highest level of ownership of their power to create results now. I'm your host, Stacy B. Let's dive in. Hello, podcast listeners. Welcome back to another SoulCharge episode. I'm very, very passionate about this topic that we are diving into today: permission versus power. It's so fascinating to me. Leaders, change makers, trailblazers, the people that are innovating, changing the world, and doing it in style actually struggle with this the most. And that is why I'm bringing this to you, this topic, because it shows up everywhere. It is insidious. It is sneaky. It is the thing we think we have the best intentions about, the thing we say we are collaborating with our teams for. It's the thing that we say we just want to get one more piece of advice about. It is the thing that we seek. This thing is permission. It is approval. And it is absolutely diluting and blocking claiming our power. Seeking permission is so sneaky, and it is something that when you can start to bring your attention to it, because like we say at SoulCharge, we want to see and be free, right? We want to shine a light on the truth, because when you do that, as the saying goes, the truth will always set you free. There's nothing underneath the truth. So if you can admit where you are seeking approval, where you are seeking permission, where you are hesitating or tiptoeing when you should be making a splash, what starts to happen is you naturally start to come into your power. And so let's talk about what's driving this for a minute, because it's so easy to be called out, right? Stacy, you've got me. You have told me that I am seeking permission, that I'm not in my full power. Now what do I do about it? What do I actually do to change this thing? And my answer to that is, can you start to see that it's everywhere? Can you be really, really honest with yourself and say, I am not comfortable with owning what I think and what I want to decide. And so I find it more comfortable to lean into other people's thoughts, bounce ideas off my team, involve team members in decisions, because I don't feel comfortable in my power. It either feels unfamiliar, it feels that if I do stake this claim, other people are going to be turned off or uncomfortable or left out. I want to include everyone, right? That's what we want to do, is we want everyone to feel included and a part of the decision. And we want self-led teams and companies. But all the while, if we're seeking permission, we're really in a reactionary state. We're not really in true power. And so when you can start to see what's at the root, that's what frees you. And so if you notice what I just did there, what I just did was turned the desire of seeking permission into what it's really about. You are not comfortable with your power. You feel like a stranger to your power. It is more comfortable to get that approval or that permission from external sources and tie into their power. In other words, connect to their power and their certainty and call in that energy and decide with that than it is to actually just rest in your power alone. So you can see that the way that I actually focused on the truth was not focusing on, oh, yes, I seek permission. No, no, no. What we did there is we actually focused on what's driving your desire to seek permission is a lack of safety with your power. And so that's what's so important about when I say see the truth. You're not always doing that. You're not always seeing the truth. You're seeing the surface symptom. We want to go to what this is actually about, because when you do that, embodied power comes. Holistic leadership unfolds, multidimensional power that is out of this world and in this world and productive in this world unfolds and deploys. And so seeking permission is one way that it shows up. The other way that I see this showing up is really in conversation. And it's really in conversation. A lot of times what we do is we seek other people's input, right? We all do this. We all are like sharing things, and we're connecting over our days, and we're, connecting over things we're working through and things that we're up against. And the question I have for you is, are you resting in who you be in the process? Or are you doing these things to get something because you are not validating yourself? I highly recommend you go back to the prior episode, because that episode really ties this together beautifully. And this idea of like what we're seeking, it's time that we give that to ourselves. It is time to stop making it about seeking the validation and actually look at what is it that we need to self-soothe about? What is it that we need to self-validate about? And when we do that, we rise. When we do that, we start to move through the world in embodied leadership. We start to move through the world in such a way that is convicted. At SoulCharge, our core values are connection, certitude, ownership, and mastery. And the reason that I want to bring those in with you today is because to be a soul charged leader, what that means is that your inner world is integrated with the outer world. And because you are integrated and you are aligned and you are embodied, your external results are of the quantum. They are exponential, and they are not based in seeking permission or validation, but they are based in standing for the cause. They are based in really saying, this is my vision and this is what I'm here to do. And I'm going to be uncomfortable. I'm going to have to state things and stand for things that other people aren't going to be shoulder to shoulder with me on. And I'm willing to do that because I'm willing to stand for the cause, right? Instead of trying to get everyone convinced around you why it's a good cause and why it's a good idea and why it's important. You stand for it and you work daily to make it real. That's a completely different mode of leadership, right? And that's why those core values are really the pillars of SoulCharge and the pillars of what we teach our clients. Is when you can be connected to yourself, what that naturally cultivates in you is certitude. And certitude is a level of certainty. It is an attitude of certainty that says, I'm so committed to my vision. Y'all may not agree with me, and I'm not concerned about you. Let the results be the noise. And I am going to move this mission, usher this mission forward. And I'd like you to come along. But if you don't want to take the leap with me, it's okay. I'm going anyway, because I'm so certain about the fulfillment of this mission and movement. And so certitude automatically starts to transpire when you're so deeply connected to yourself. And naturally, that fuels into ownership, right? This idea of when you are owning yourself and your vision and your desires and what you stand for, your employees do too. They have a pride and a dedication to the mission because you're owning that at such a high level. And then mastery is this constant connection, commitment to what you're here to do, and knowing that it's always an ebb and flow of being masterful in the process. Mastery is really about this commitment to the sacredness of what you've been chosen to usher forward in your life, in your business, in what's been put on your heart. And why that all connects to this topic today is really boiling down to the minute that you unplug from seeking validation and you start to inquire with yourself, what am I seeking externally? And am I giving that to myself? Reflecting and going deep and saying, okay, I noticed that I seek validation or approval on these things. What's up for me to give more attention to? You may notice that where you seek validation or where you seek permission are the decisions that are the boldest, right? You're looking for someone to agree with you so that you have the cojones to take the leap, where really it's about trusting yourself. I find most often with the clients that we work with at SoulCharge that wherever they're seeking permission is truly their next level of trust and going all in on themselves and their vision and truly deciding to move through the world on faith, right? To take the step. It's like that Martin Luther King quote, you don't have to see the whole staircase. Just take the first step. And when we're constantly seeking permission, that's blocking us from trusting ourselves. And so if you can unplug from the noise, right? Notice that you're going out and you're constantly seeking input from your team, or you want to brainstorm different topics. Not everything is up for other people's input. When it comes to your vision and your sacred mission, as we like to call it around here, not everyone gets input on the mission and the vision, right? It's yours and yours alone. And it's not that we are saying no collaboration or don't collaborate, but what we're saying is that you're not collaborating. You're looking for approval on things, and it's time to stop that. It's really about coming into this conviction and all in, all hands on deck energy about what it is that you're pursuing, because permission and seeking that sneaks up on you, and it sneaks in so many ways. I know and I trust that by you listening to this episode, you're already noticing the ways that you're seeking permission. All of those areas is your power knocking on your front door saying, let me in. Trust me. It's safe here. You don't have to pull power from other people anymore. You get to self-source your power. You don't have to plug into other people's thoughts anymore, beliefs anymore, limitations anymore. You can rest in the spaciousness, in the expansive nature of your power. When you stop seeking permission, you rise. Where you seek permission is your invitation, is your phone call of what's next, and the part of you that is ready to come out and to be free and to be fully expressed and to really, really lean into what the next level is about. I am excited to announce that SoulCharge now offers in-person classes at our Boise, Idaho headquarters. If you are a leader that is looking to claim your next level, you are looking to activate that level of conviction you know is within you, but you feel stuck or uncertain of what's next. Maybe you feel misaligned with what you're currently doing, and knowing that there is a next level for you to unlock, SoulCharge classes are for you. In my own journey, I saw a lot of resources out there that were specific in energy work or spiritual work or siloed into business performance coaching or business performance. And I wanted a merge of all the worlds. I wanted a merge of the practical meeting the mystical. And how can we harness our internal state and the energy that is truly us and have that result in more aligned and purposeful business outcomes? And so I created SoulCharge. SoulCharge is the first and only leadership operating system for the leaders that want to harness the mystical and the practical and create a life that they love and incredible results in the process. If this interests you, join us. The first experience at SoulCharge is complimentary. Click on the link below to learn more, and we look forward to seeing you at a SoulCharge location near you. I am confident that you, podcast listener, as you listen to this, there is an area of your life that you are ready to unlock, that you are ready to become more for, because it's already who you really are. It's just that the noise of seeking permission and the noise of seeking validation has distracted you. It's gotten you off track. And all that this call to rise is about is to switch the channel. Turn off the channel of seeking permission, of seeking validation, and go inside and evaluate those areas that you seek permission the most on, and inquire with yourself, where am I ready to be self-sourced on? What areas do I notice this pattern shows up the most? Because those are the areas that are ready to rise, that are ready to emerge in you. And it is safe now, my dear one. It is safe. You are home, and you can fully lean in to the power that is ready to rise in you. Are you loving SoulCharge? If so, hit the subscribe button, leave a review, and share an episode. We want to bring powerful content to women leaders each week so that women can be unleashed to create the results that they want now. Thanks so much for listening, and we'll see you next week.